I get the point that the COVID vaccine is experimental in the sense it has not gone through the long period of trialing that other vaccines have done, but it could scarcely be so because the world faced an emergency that at the time looked as if it might become the Black Plague, which I remind you, wiped out a third of the population of this country. A third. At today's population equivalent, that would have been in excess of 20 million people dead. Now, it didn't turn out that way, but the drive for a vaccination and the rollout of the vaccination is probably the only two good things that we did in our handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. I've had the jabs twice, and I'll have the booster when it comes along. I figure that it quite obviously is not going to stop you getting COVID, but has a fair chance of stopping you dying from it, and that'll do me. But equally, I'm entirely opposed to compulsory vaccination. I'm entirely opposed to COVID passports, which it seems this day that the Boris Johnson government is now retreating from, leaving, as oftentimes, the Scottish government of Nicola Sturgeon up the creek without a paddle. She is going ahead with COVID passports, and she was doing so on the assumption that Boris Johnson was going to implement them here in England. So I don't know how she'll handle that. I'm against it. I'm against it for all kinds of reasons. It is a kind of apartheid that they have in mind.